Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. It looks like we are just waiting on just a couple of more people before we get started.
Mr. Castro, it looks like everyone is present.
Got it. I'm on.
All righty. Thank you all so much. I just want to start out the meeting by letting you all know this is my last Board of Adjustment hearing. It's been a pleasure serving as your zoning administrator for the last many years, however many years it's been, and just participating in the Board of Adjustment process, probably for over 15, probably 20 years. So today is bittersweet, but I'm excited to be moving on to do some new things. I'll still be around in the background, but I wanted to just tell you all, it's just been a pleasure to participate in this process. And with that having been said, I'd like to introduce you all to our newest member, Lee Pagney. Lee, if you'd like to turn on your camera, please. Lee is joining us as the representative of Ward 3, Councilmember Dahl's ward. And we welcome you to the Board of Adjustment. And we look forward to you participating and being involved for many years to come.
Great, thank you.
Okay. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Castro.
Thank you, Ms. Wells. Welcome everybody to the Board of Adjustment Study Session agenda. Today is February 23rd, 2022. I did have a couple of announcements to make and Ruslan beat me to it. But there's one more announcement I would like to make, and that is that we also do have a new member. It's the mayor's appointee. Her name is, let's see, Miranda Schubert. And so she hasn't taken her loyalty oath yet, so she's technically not a voting member yet. So with that being said, I know on the agenda that we had scheduled the findings training today, but we thought it would be better if we waited for her to be officially on the board before we did a training session. So we're going to go ahead and postpone that training until the next public hearing. And with that, I will move right into the first item on the study session agenda. And that is that we did not receive any applications for the March 30th hearing. So that means that the possible next public hearing would be April 27th. So if you know you're going to be out of town and not able to attend that meeting, please just go ahead and give me a heads up on that. Item number 2, we have the election of officers today. So that's it's February, so it's a new year, and we get to the board can elect new chair and vice chair. So that's going to be the first order of business when we start the public hearing. And before we get into the discussion of today's case, I just want to make sure that everybody received the packet that I emailed. That would be the study session agenda, the approval protest map with the comments, and also the motion template for the case that is being heard today. So if you could all just let me know that you did receive it, I would appreciate it.
I got all of that.
Okay,
I got it, Mark.
thank you.
Jesse Lugo, yes.
Thank you.
Lee Pine, you received?
Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the discussion for today's case. That's C10-22-01, Wiley and Calhoun residents, solar carport technicians for sustainability. And the property address is 1844 North Vine Avenue, and it's zoned NR1. So let me go ahead and pull up the next slide here. So this is the property. It's approximately 27,000 square feet. And as you can see, this is the principal dwelling here. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 detached accessory structures. And with this project, this is the subject of the permit, is this existing carport right here. What the owners want to do is remove this carport and replace it with a new carport that's going to have solar panels on top. And because of this new construction, it's going to be triggering variances. So the first variance request is going to be to allow the new solar panel carport to replace the existing carport with the reduced side street perimeter yard setback from 10 feet to 1 feet as measured to the south lot line. And then the second variance they're asking before the board is to allow the combined total gross floor area of all the accessory structures that are 200 square feet or larger to exceed 50% of the total gross floor area of the residence. So this property here, as you can see, it's a large lot, and this carport has been existing here for several years. There's an existing curb cut here, and currently the roof overhang of this carport goes over the property line about 2 feet. With this new construction, the roof overhang will now be approximately a foot behind the property line, so it'll be a little more in conformance. And it's going to be similar in size. The width of the carport is actually going to be a little smaller than what it is currently here. Staff does not object to the variances being requested because of all the existing structures that have been here before, and also that this is simply replacing an existing carport in the same location. So it seemed reasonable to do that, since this is also their access to the parking spaces here, and as well as there is no, without removing a wall back here, there would be no way that they could keep pushing this carport back to meet the setback. So this existing wall and the vegetation, the mature trees that are here, it's reasonable to go ahead and leave the carport in the same location generally. To this date, we have received a total of 4 approvals for this project, 0 protests. And also to note, this is in an NR1 zone. The N signifies that it's in the neighborhood preservation zone overlay. And this is Jefferson Park. So because of the carport's visibility from the street, it's required to go through the neighborhood preservation zone review process. And part of that process includes a review of the plans by the design professional assigned to the project to make sure that the project is in conformance with the design standards of the neighborhood preservation zone for Jefferson Park. The result of that review was that the design professional recommended approval of the NPZ application. And so with that, the Planning Development Services Director took the recommendation for approval and issued the approval for the NPZ application. The only conditions that we have, should the board grant the variances, is that there is to be no parking between the carport and the street, and that the carport remain open. So at this time, I will go ahead and open up to any questions.
Mark?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Bruce Dawson. Who was the design professional? You mentioned a design professional looked at it. Could I ask who that is?
Let's see. I can pull it up real quick if you don't mind holding on here.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Okay.
It was a matter of curiosity, really.
Okay.
Sorry.
While Mark is doing that, I'd like just to have a little clarification. That roof of the existing carport currently overhangs the lot line, and the proposed new carport, the roof will be in alignment with the existing wall, and then the posts are offset. And the measurement, the 1 foot setback, is from the lot line to the posts. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, I actually did go out. I was around the hospital today, so I went out to go take a look. I certainly didn't find anything untoward or anything that would disturb me at all.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, I see. Oh, Richard. Okay,
Richard Fay Tom was the design professional who reviewed this.
I know him.
Are there any other questions?
You know, Mark, this is Mike Marks.
Yes.
First, I've got just a technical question. Actually, both are technical. The first is, I wonder if there is an adjustment for the audio, because I'm hardly hearing you, and I've got my computer audio on full blast. is that a problem that everybody has, or am I unique in this?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing
was-
everyone just fine.
I hear everybody
I-
fine.
I'm hearing everyone fine.
Yeah, I hear you
I
just
was
fine.
hearing him less than fine.
Okay. And Mark, when you were presenting your staff report, you seem to be making reference to certain aspects of the exhibit that is on display currently. Were you, I didn't see any cursor or any other means of you pointing. Were you intending to do that? I see.
Oh, yes. Yes, I was. Are you able to see my cursor now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Yes,
I
thank you.
don't think I did before.
No, I
Okay,
did.
Okay, well, that's fine, what I see now.
okay. I wanted to make
Actually,
su-
Mark, I didn't see the cursor either earlier.
Oh, okay. I wonder if there's a pointer on this that we. Dan, do you know if there's a pointer on that we could use?
I've never utilized the pointer before, but we can see your cursor now, which is good. Yeah,
Okay.
for some reason I didn't see it either, so I'm not entirely
Oh.
sure what happened.
Okay, well, it's here now.
Mhm. And, you know, I really don't have any questions on the facts of the case. I think it was, you did a complete job. Well, I do have one, you know. There's reference in the staff report to the accessory buildings being constructed prior to the code having the section that limits the area to 50% of the primary structure. Well, when was that? When did the 50% rule go into effect?
Mike, I don't have, this is Rustlin. I don't have the exact date, but I think it was about 2009. It was right around there. I had looked it up, but I've forgotten.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
These have been, the buildings in the back have been there for decades.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
I have one comment with relative to that issue is that there's that rule, and we certainly have run across it any number of times, particularly when it's involves, pardon me, these residences that are adding on carports or doing additions. There's always this 50% rule that seems to kick in, and I think it was in the comments that I read by the applicant. Certainly, they were saying how you have a lot this big, and there's a pretty substantial house on it, certainly. But that 50% rule seems to be aimed certainly at a lot smaller lot. And so you have the 50% rule, the size of the house, so nothing can go 50% over there, over a certain number of square feet. And then you also have in the zoning code a matter of lot coverage. And that can be anywhere from 70, 60, 70% of the total lot area can be covered. And it depends on if that's buildings, sometimes it's buildings and parking areas and various things like that. But you have a large lot like this, and so the amount of area that you can cover based on the coverage allotment and this 50% rule, they seem to kind of bump into each other here, and that's just an observation or comment. So let's proceed on that.
Roy, you
Mr.
have your
Lusk,
hand
you
up?
have,
Sorry.
Hi, Chairman and board members. I just wanted to remind everyone that during the study session, it's appropriate to ask questions of the staff and to ask questions of the applicant. Discussion should be held until the public hearing so that everybody can be involved.
Okay, do we have any other questions?
I have no further questions.
No further questions.
No, none here.
Thank you. Do you want to go ahead and we'll close the study session and then we will reconvene at 1:30 for the public hearing?
Okay.
I suggest that for now, rather than exiting, that you just mute
Right,
yourself and
just-
turn your camera
Just
off.
turn, right.
Yeah. Do we require a motion for that or?
No.
No.
Dan, we will need to stop the recording so that our study session recording is separate from our hearing recording.
Sounds good. I'll do it right now. Thanks.
Thank you.